In this video, we're going to run through Retell AI. I'm going to show you their dashboard, where things are, how to use it, and then we're going to set up an AI voice agent.
Thank you for calling. How can I help you?
You guys take care of my beard.
Would you like to book an appointment?
I was wondering, I'm making this video because today I had a meeting with Retell's enterprise team where their senior software developer showed me the best settings for an AI voice agent on their platform. This is going to be the best voice agent that you can possibly build. This AI voice agent will be able to take incoming calls, make outgoing calls, answer questions, transfer calls. I'll even show you how to connect it to other platforms like calendars. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so here we are on the Retell homepage. You're going to want to make an account or sign in the top right. Once you get in, this is the page it's going to bring you to. This is pretty much the home for your agents. Yours is a new account. It will be blank. I have a bunch of agents that you can see I've been playing around with, so mine's kind of populated. Under the agent section is going to be the knowledge base section. This is where you're going to add knowledge bases, which then you can attach to your agents. I'm going to kind of run through this left side real quick. The most important page or section by far is the agent section. The rest kind of just plays into the agent section. So just like the knowledge base plays into the agents, the phone numbers also plays into the agents. This is just a section where you buy phone numbers. It's pretty simple. We'll run through that once we're at that point. But once you buy them, you can add them to the AI agent as an inbound or an outbound agent. And then under this is batched calls. This is when you're just making outbound calls and you're doing like a bunch of them at once. This will show up. What you do will show up under the batch calls. Call history, this is every phone call made, inbound or outbound. You can see the details of each call by clicking on it. You can listen to the recording, as well as scrolling down to see like the transcription of the call, what was actually said, as well as data and detail logs. Detail logs, I think this is JSON. As it states, you can plug this into ChatGPT and ask it what kind of details it's actually extracting if you want to go that far. But for most use cases, that won't be necessary. Under call history, you have chat history. This is if you're sending messages. Analytics, this is just an overview of your account and the things that you're doing. Billing, we'll go over billing while we're in the agent dashboard itself. This is my billing, don't look. And then underneath is settings. These are just your limits, what you can do. Now, going back to the bread and butter agent section. To actually create an agent, we're going to go over to the top right and hit create an agent. We're doing a voice agent. You have 4 options. 99% of the time, you're going to want to be using single prompt agent. Don't worry about the rest of them. Start from blank. You can pick a template if you want, but with this build, you're not really going to need it. I'm going to show you how to build a voice agent that's better than any template you could pick. So we'll start from blank and hit create. Now we're inside the agent dashboard. Left-hand side, here's your single prompt. You can name it at the top. We can edit the welcome message. In the middle, we have tools, functions, settings. On the right side, we have a testing area. So to actually create the prompt, I drew up something that we can plug into ChatGPT that creates the best possible prompt. You're going to tell ChatGPT, create a system prompt for a voice receptionist built on Retell AI. Write in Markdown with each section starting with a hashtag. Keep it short and production ready. Include only these sections: system directive, hours, role, after hours mode, critical rules, knowledge base, multi-shot examples, and end of call. The agent should answer FAQs, transfer calls, and adjust behavior when the business is closed. Use placeholders like user number, current time, America, New York, and transfer call. Tone must be concise, natural, human-like. Never mention being AI unless asked. Now, this prompt is great. This block right here is great because let's say you want the AI to also book appointments. You can just say that. You can plug this into ChatGPT and say, I also want the AI voice agent to make appointments, and then it will add what's necessary to this, and then all you have to do is hit enter, and it's going to cook up your prompt like we'll see in a minute. So here it kind of drew up a generalized prompt for Retell AI. The one issue is that we didn't give it the business's URL. So we're going to scrape the business live as well. So what you're going to do is go to the internet and search up whatever business you're going to be building the AI receptionist for. So I'm going to be building for my local barber shop. So I went over to their website. I'm copying their URL, and I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and say, this is the business I'm creating the agent for, scrape the website, update the prompt, and create a knowledge base separate from the prompt above, and then plug in the URL. Okay, so now it drew up a system prompt, and it has a separate knowledge base. We're going to leave the knowledge base for now. We're not going to do anything with it, because right now we need the bread and butter, which is the system prompt. Take the system prompt and plug it into the prompt section within Retell and hit save. This is the foundation for the agent, already finished. Now, all the little things that go with the prompt. First, you have your LLM. We're going to leave GPT 4.1, but I am going to go into settings and take a look, make sure this is at 0. Next, we have our voice. Retell recommends one of two things. They recommend using SEMO if you're going to use one of their voices, but if you want the best possible voice, they say to clone. I don't clone because I've had some bad experiences with it, but if you want to clone a voice, you pretty much need to record some audio and then upload those audio clips into the add voice clone section, and then it's going to create a voice, a cloned voice that you can then use for your AI voice agent. There's some use cases where that's cool. In my opinion, unnecessary because SEMO works so well. So I like SEMO, but Retell does recommend if you're using a female voice, go into the settings button next to the voice and go to voice temperature and lower it to 0.9. That's just going to make sure that the tone stays more stable, because with females there's a lot of spikes, like the voice will crack more often, so lowering the temperature will reduce the risk of voice cracking. Here next to voice we have languages. You can select multilingual, which is 50 plus, or you can pick one individually. I do English. I wouldn't necessarily, you might be like, oh, why not just do multilingual? With just English, it's going to be faster because it's not listening for those other languages. The way multilingual works is if someone is speaking English and then they switch to Spanish, the AI is going to pick that up and speak whatever language back that the caller is speaking. So multilingual just adds a lot of just like weight to the AI, which is unnecessary unless you need it. So I stay with English. At the top, we're going to name it. So this is for my local barber shop. And then going below the prompt, we have the welcome message. We don't want the user to speak first. We want the AI to speak first. And we're not going to do a dynamic message. That pretty much allows the AI to say whatever it wants. We're going to do a custom message. Say, thank you for calling Page Barbershop. How can I help you? And that's the welcome message configured. That is the entire left side configured now. Now moving on to the function section, this is pretty much where you can add tools to the AI agent. So if you want it to be able to end call, you want to hit add, select end call, and it's going to bring you into this little module. And it's going to give you a name and a description. The description is optional, but I always plug it in. And I'm going to say something like end the call when the user is done. And hit save. Now the AI can end calls. And then the next one we're going to do is transfer call. We're going to leave the name and the description. Here's where you're going to want to plug in where you want calls to go when the AI transfers them. This is usually going to be the business's main line. Under type, we're going to do warm transfer. Warm transfer is 10 times better than cold transfer. You can pick any one of these. I like to do uplifting beats because it's unique. But this is pretty much just the on-hold music, what the caller will hear while they're being transferred. Human detection I take off, but whisper message I turn on. This is pretty much plugging in a whisper message is what the AI says to the business when the call is being transferred before the caller reaches the business. So if John calls, AI receptionist answers. John says something like, I want to issue a refund. The AI is going to say, okay, let me transfer you to the business. Transfer to the business is going to be initiated. Business picks up the phone, and the AI comes on and says, hey, I have John calling. He wants to issue a refund. AI hangs up, and John is sent straight to the business. Now John is on the phone with whoever picked up at the business. So we're going to say hello and let the business know why the caller is calling. and we're going to hit save. Those are the only two functions that are required. As far as the rest of them go, they are really useful. If you want to send links, you can do send SMS. If you want to connect to cal.com, connect to a calendar, you can do check calendar availability, book on the calendar, or you can do a custom function because Retell natively offers cal.com. They have a direct integration with them, which is why they only show cal.com. If you want to connect to like Google Calendar, you have to do a custom function. So you're going to plug in the name. It'll be like book appointment Google Calendar. And then you'll say use this function to book appointments. And you're going to fill this out as needed. You can literally just send a screenshot of this to ChatGPT and say it's for Google Calendar or whatever your use case is, and it'll tell you how to fill this out. We're not doing appointments. We're just going to do a basic AI voice agent for the rest of this video. So I'm going to leave that out, but I have made videos on how to do appointment booking. So if you want to learn about those functions, just watch my other videos. Moving down to knowledge base. This is where we discussed the other section of what ChatGPT cooked up. Come back into ChatGPT for knowledge base, copy what it made, go back to Retell. We're going to leave our AI agent, go to knowledge base, hit create, and we're going to name our knowledge base after, and we're going to name our knowledge base after the business's name. We're going to do add documents, hit add text, again, page barbershop knowledge base, and we're going to paste in the knowledge base that ChatGPT gave us, and hit save. Hit save again. Now we can go back into the agent, and we can connect the knowledge base. So go over to knowledge base, hit add, and add the knowledge base that you just configured. Now the AI can answer questions based on the web scrape that it did on the business. One note here, make sure your client, whoever you're building this for, their website is up to date. If you're scraping their website using ChatGPT to create a knowledge base, obviously make sure the website's up to date so the information is accurate and it contains everything that the AI needs to know about the business. If there's other things, then just feed it to ChatGPT. Be like, oh, I'm making this for my cousin, and he also told me that on Tuesdays we stay open extra late. However, that's not included in the website. Moving on, next we have speech settings. So this is really where Retell cooked for me. They went through all of this with me and told me the most optimal settings. I learned a lot, definitely, from this section with them. So the first thing you're going to want to do is pick a background sound. It makes it sound much more realistic. It's going to be like a light tone in the back. You can change the volume here. It's going to be like a light tone. I don't really know. It's going to be minimal background sound when the AI is on the phone with somebody. So it just makes it sound more realistic. Responsiveness, definitely lower to 0.9. Interruption sensitivity, they recommend putting that at 0.5. This is just how sensitive the AI is to interruptions. Leave back channeling off, speech normalization. They say turn on if your AI voice agent's like complicated, you have a lot of moving pieces, turn it on. For this use case, we can leave it off. And then these two are useless for now. We don't need a reminder message frequency. Pronunciation is important if you're building an AI receptionist or a voice agent for, say, a doctor's office, and the doctor has a complicated name. You're going to want to teach the AI how to actually pronounce the doctor's name. So you're going to hit add, you're going to plug in the doctor's name, and you're going to plug in a phone me, which is pretty much how you're going to spell out how to actually pronounce it, just like you would see on Google. Google shows you how to, if you've ever seen on Google, how it shows you to pronounce certain things. Same concept. Spell it out for the AI so that it can pronounce things correctly. Moving on to real-time transcription settings. This is probably the most important setting here. You have to remove background speech because when callers call, there's usually like a decent amount of the time there's background noise, whether it's someone else talking, whether it's music, a TV. If you don't select background speech, the AI is going to be tripped up by anything that it hears in the background. Transcription mode. Originally, I did optimize for speed because that was important to me, but they say the difference really is minimal. and the accuracy is important. So do accuracy, vocabulary specialization, irrelevant, boosted keywords. If there's a very common, like let's say you're building for a barbershop, plug in hair, skin fade, things like that, just so it's more familiar with the knowledge, not with the knowledge, with the language used, with the common language used during phone calls for that specific use. Voice note detection, we can keep off. The top half of call settings is all good the way it is. But moving on to the bottom, you're definitely going to want to change these. So we said we were going to talk about billing. Your billing is right up here. You're being charged 12.5 cents per minute. Now, these settings directly affect your billing because this is what determines how long the calls can actually stay live for. So this is especially important if you're doing outbound calls, because outbound calls, you're doing a lot more volume and things can go wrong more often than if you're doing inbound. But either way, 5 minutes and call on silence, 100%. This means that if there's more than 5 minutes of silence, the call ends. Max call duration. This is the longest that one phone call can be live. I do 10 minutes. You can make it however long you want, but just keep in mind it's how long the call can actually be live for. Underneath, we have ring duration. I'm going to do 20 seconds. This is just how long it rings the business for, or whoever it's transferring the call to. This determines how long it will ring for. So we're going to do 20 seconds. Those are the settings taken care of. Post-call analysis, we don't need to configure. You're only going to need to configure this if you're coding, if you want to extract certain details into your back end. Enable post-call analysis by adding one of the 4 options: text, selector, boolean, or number. I go through these in another video, but they're relevant for this one. Security and fallback. Again, this is only relevant if you're doing external things, like let's say you're taking credit card information. You're going to want to do everything except PCII or PII. Hit setup and remove credit card. This pretty much just makes you compliant. So this matters in the healthcare space. This matters in if you're taking credit cards. The last 2 sections, webhook. Again, if you want to send variables information elsewhere, this is where you plug in your webhook. And at the bottom, MCPs, this is just connecting external platforms. That is going to be it for the middle section. On the right-hand side, we can actually test our AI agent. My computer doesn't have a mic, so we're not going to be doing test audio, but we can do test chat. Hey, what time do you close tomorrow? Close at 7 p.m. tomorrow. And yes, tomorrow is Wednesday. So that is accurate. Now, to actually make this agent live, last piece of the cake is we need to buy a phone number and add it to our agent. So exit out of your agent dashboard and go over to phone numbers, and you're going to want to hit the plus sign, buy new number. You're going to be renting from Twilio. I mean, you could do either. I definitely recommend Twilio. They have the best prices, very consistent numbers. Pick a number and purchase it. You'll be getting charged, I think, $2 per month just to have that number. I have a bunch, so I'm going to just use one of the ones that I have. Once you have your phone number, go back into your agent and go to the top right, hit publish. If you're doing inbound, select inbound. If you're doing outbound, select outbound. If you don't know what that means, inbound means it's taking incoming calls, so it's a receptionist. Outbound means that it is making phone calls itself. It's calling people. We're going to be doing inbound, and we're going to select this phone number, and we're going to hit publish. Boom, our agent is live.
Boom.
Okay, so now that our agent is live, let's give it a test call.
Thank you for calling Page Barbershop. How can I help you?
Hi, what time do you guys close tomorrow?
We close at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Is there anything else I can help with?
Yeah, do you guys do like shaves? Can you guys take care of my beard?
Yes, we offer shaves and beard care services. Would you like to book an appointment or have more details?
Yeah, no, I was wondering if you guys have parking, because like I couldn't find anywhere to park last time.
We have on-site parking, and there's also street parking nearby. If you need tips on where to park, just let me know. Anything else I can help with?
That is splendid. You did a great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the kind words. Have a great day, and we look forward to seeing you at Page Barbershop.
And there we go. Okay, so that was the ins and outs of Retell AI. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that this will prove to be useful. If you're watching this video, you're most likely debating selling AI voice agents.
We're rich!
This is a great space to be in, whether you're just trying to learn about AI or make money. If you want to learn more about the appointment booking aspects of an AI voice agent, watch previous videos. If you want to learn more about selling AI voice agents, I'm going to make videos about that in the future. So stay tuned. That's going to be it for this one. Thank you for watching and good luck on your journey.
Bye, guys.